Right, big white roof, white pillars, infinity swimming pool. You guys are more than welcome to stop on by after the trip. That's my place. No, that's not true. That's a guy by the name of Captain Beyer, and he designs guidance systems for missiles, and he's a retired Marine Corps captain, so I wouldn't go popping in there unannounced. Yeah, guys, you're gonna see a whole bunch of dive flags today, and everybody's gonna be like, what in the world is so entertaining about the sandy bottom of the intercoastal? Lobsters. Cockroaches of the ocean. That's what everybody's down here doing right now. I thought mini season ended last night at midnight, but it must be tonight. So you'll see a bunch of people wandering around, and that's what they're doing, lobstering. Our lobsters, for you guys that don't know, they don't have claws. They're warm water lobster. They're Spanish lobsters. So I think this is pretty funny, but I am actually, you know what, guys? We're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna show you all some manatee. But before I do that, hold on. If everybody runs to one side of this boat, we're all going to get a really good look at this manatee. So the way we're going to do this is the right-hand side behind me and in front of me, all are going to stay seated. The left-hand side, go ahead and stand up. Left-hand side, while you're standing up, if a boat goes by, this boat does rock. So if you're not steady on your feet, hold on to something. Look at 2 o'clock. See the 2 big dark spots in the middle right here at 1 2 o'clock? Those are the manatees. Now I'm going to kind of hang out here with them because I'll be totally honest with you, I'd rather show you these than Tiger Woods' roof. I have no way of making these things do Shamu tricks. A couple people last week thought that I could make them breach. They don't do that. They just come up, take a breath of water, and come back down. They can stay down for 5 minutes while they're on the move, then they have to come up for a breath of air. And they're off the endangered list, now they're on the protected list. So family, and they were distributors for Budweiser beer up in New York. Now the next 10 docks on the right hand side, their property goes all the way through the island. So their house is on the ocean, docks on the intercoastal, they own everything in between. Now keep in mind, guys, the island's only 100 yards wide here, and you got the road going through the middle part of your property, so we're not talking about a whole lot of land. Back when getting was good, these first 10 homes were between 15 and 20 million apiece. The second most recent sale down here, and unfortunately you're not going to see much of the house at all, is this white dock to my right with the little blue boat lifted up out of the water. That was Alan Jackson's place, the country music singer. The next one on Lost Osprey. That thing's supposed to be like 400 miles to the north of us right now. But that's the osprey, and those are the 2 osprey nests. So that's why the dead trees are left up in the park. If you guys drive down to the Keys, you'll probably notice those big platforms that they make for the birds to stay off the power poles. It's kind of the same thing. It's just, here instead of having the poles, we just leave the tree up. To my left, but about 11 o'clock. And it has blue trim windows. If you're into golf, that's everybody's favorite Swedish professional golfer, Jesper Parnevik. Jesper Parnevik's nanny, Elin, married Tiger Woods. That was the house Elin and her twin sister were working at when Jesper introduced her to Tiger. Now, Elin, she's done doing the nanny thing. She doesn't really do that anymore. But that's where she was working when she met Tiger. A lot of people don't know this. Jesper's father is a famous comedian in Sweden. Excuse me, that wore off on Jesper. His official comment to ESPN when Elin clubbed Tiger, he told the reporters, "I taught her better than that. She should have used the driver instead of the 9-iron," which I think is pretty funny. That is the most down-to-earth man you ever want to meet. His name is Mr. Benson, and Mr. Benson was in metal fabrication in Pennsylvania. He used to make nuts, bolts, washers, that kind of thing. Now he's got the boat, the house, the dinghy, the jet skis, all the toys. His favorite toy is his red Murray riding lawnmower. Up until about 10 or 12 years ago now, that was Dan Marino's house, the retired Miami Dolphins quarterback. So he moved up here from Weston, which is a suburb of Fort Lauderdale, so his youngest daughter, Nikki, could go to high school up here at a place called Benjamin. As soon as Nikki graduates high school, they sell this house, and they turn around and they move right back to Weston. Now guys, I think this is fantastic, but I do not know how wonderfully fantastic Dan Marino thought this was. Roof. They asked me not to say their name, and I don't. But I promise you, the wife, she's the only one on this island that still hangs her laundry out to dry in a clothing line in the backyard. And I think that is awesome. My grandparents do it. It doesn't get any better smell than the sun. But that laundry line goes from one end of that house to the other, and I'm not talking about the bed sheets, I'm talking about all of the laundry. What I want you guys to do is look down the right-hand side of this house. Side we come up on first, in between the hedge and the home, and you're going to see a concrete post the same color as the house. I'm just trying to show you guys how small some of these properties are. That's their guard gate. Right on the other side of that guard gate is Beach Road, so that's as far as the property goes. But I still live there. So my second roof, everybody used to think that that was Ralph Lauren's place, the clothing designer, and you could totally see the way that would work. It looks like something he would own, but Ralph Lauren, he's never lived on Jupiter Island. This is a man by the name of Mr. Cribb, and Mr. Cribb is in hospital management. What is his favorite Palm Beach County resident, main man, Burt Reynolds? Good old Burt. Guys, Burt is fine. We had a lady a couple months ago that was like, "Oh, he's still alive?" Yeah, of course he's still alive. He's just broke. The house was foreclosed on. Burt was not the best of money managers, and to be totally honest with you, Lonnie Anderson really didn't help out that situation a whole lot. Basically what happened is Burt's house was foreclosed on. The guy that bought Sunny Sands Mobile Home Park, Love Street, Rustic Inn Crab House, he bought Burt's house. And he's letting Burt stay there for quite a while, which I think is awesome. Everybody forgets about all the fantastic things that that man did for the state of Florida, the county of Palm Beach, but more importantly, the town of Jupiter. And they're wiping their hands free, and it really is That's the founder of Home Depot. No, I'm joking. But you could see how that would work. Once again, I got nothing. The only thing that I sorted out with that place is those people drink a lot, and they come home by boat. You're not going to lose your house coming home from the grouper, that is for sure. 56 built that year, make and model, and there's actually only 6 of those left in existence. It's a 1978 Merit Sportfish. They're built in Pompano Beach, Florida, and if I would have won that Powerball last weekend, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But never mind all that, look up on the hill. See the massive green roofed house that the thing belongs to? This is a man by the name of Mr. Davies. The Davies family, they're in oil construction and mining out in California. Mr. Davies, that dude's a genius. He made his money the old-fashioned way. He married it. Bingo. Now, we don't talk about this place, but I want you guys to keep a mental note of where this brown painted dock is on my right. In about 5 minutes from now, I'm going to show you where this guy's property ended. From this brown painted dock directly on my right, going 5 minutes forward, was one estate. It was the estate of John Seward Johnson of Johnson & Johnson. Back when this was John Seward Johnson's property, his main house was on the ocean side. His staff and guest quarters were over here on the intercoastal. This is no joke. See the white two-storied house on the point with the blue shutters? That was built for John's 6 kids as their playhouse. I would have never left home. I'd still be posted up there. Further back up in the trees were the staff quarters. On the other side of the staff quarters was the guest house. And on the other side of the kids' playhouse was the beach bungalow. Well, there's been 2 new owners to this property since the Johnsons had it. Stroh's family, Stroh's Beer. And the new family has something to do with the stock exchange, but I don't know what their name is. So let me explain the way this place is laid out now. The old kids' playhouse is now the guest house, which makes a whole lot more sense. If you look across the back of the boat, you're going to see another couple little white buildings back there with blue shutters. That was the staff area. Now it's the garages. On the other side of the old kids' playhouse in the direction we're heading, you're going to see another really beautiful banyan tree and another white 2-story building with blue shutters. That's always been the beach bungalow, and I'd be fine right there too. But what I want you guys to do is look straight over the top of the white table and chairs that aren't there right now. Hold on. Look straight over the top of that hedge. As we're sliding by, look way back on shore, and you're going to see a very little bit of a white building with blue shutters. This was the old guest house, and now it's the new family's main house. And I think that's probably one of the coolest pieces of property on the island. See it back there? That's neat. So John Seward Johnson sold the next 4 lots to Lowell Thomas, Movietone News. Lowell Thomas's family sold 4 docks ahead on the right, where you see the American and Australian flags flying from the white flagpoles on the beach, to my favorite Jupiter Island resident. It's the great white shark from Australia. It's Mr. Greg Norman. Now guys, before we get up here, we get a lot of people that come out here and say some nasty things about old Greg. They say he's arrogant. They say he's mean to his staff. He's this, he's that. He's not. He's a great man. I worked for that guy for 5 years. He gets a bad rap. He really is a good man. The way this place came about, it's going to be a cream-colored house, brown roof, brown trim, directly behind the flags. Greg and Laura, the ex-wife, they bought this place from Lowell Thomas's family in 1991 for $4.1 million. Greg and his new wife, Kiki, they just listed this place for $55 million. And when we get up here, you're going to be like, Mark, you're nuts. There's no way in the world this house is worth that much money. It's not the house. It's the 10 acres of land that it sits on is what's worth all the money. It starts here at the flagpoles and it goes all the way to the beach. So the main house is what you're going to see here in just a second. Cream-colored brown roof, brown trim. And to the left of that, wood roof screened-in area, that's the bar and grill. In front of the bar and grill is the swimming pool. To the right of the swimming pool is a tennis court that did not get a lot of use. All the way up on the beach side, there's a still beach home. And in front of the main house, there's a 17-car garage. Now, remember Greg Norman's old dinghy I keep telling you guys about? It's pointed at me right now. That sport fish is called Tender 2 Aussie Rules. There was a crane, a davit system on the back of the 228-foot boat that would lift that sport fish up out of the water and set it on the aft deck of the big boat. That rode piggyback to the big boat. Not only did that boat go on Aussie Rules, the triple engine one lifted up out of the water next to it, that also went on the back of Aussie Rules. That house is a boathouse, and that boathouse definitely did not always look like that. The original boathouse was knocked down during a hurricane while the homeowner was over in Europe for the summer. When she comes back from her summer vacation, she finds the gingerbread house sitting in her backyard. She had nothing to do with it. A couple of her family members and a bunch of the homeowners around here got together and thought it'd be funny to have that built for as a joke while she was away. I wish they'd come by my place. That is an exact replica, scaled down, of the yacht club that she belonged to in New York. Lady that lived there came home, got a chuckle. It was Barbara Johnson of Johnson & Johnson, and it still is the Johnson family. So a lot of people don't know the story about old Barbara Johnson unless you're from New Jersey, and everybody knows it. But she started her life off at the age of 18, on her way from Poland to New York with $100 in her pocket. She was hired as John Seward Johnson's chef. When she gets to New York, the Johnsons realize they have a touch of a problem on their hands because Barbara, shouldn't have any idea how to cook. So they put her as the chambermaid. Now John's married, he's got 6 kids, and is many, many, many moon older than Barbara. So we can all see where this is going to go. He divorces his wife, marries Barbara Johnson, the chambermaid. Right before he passes away, he cuts his 6 kids out of the will. Leaves her everything. She started life off as the chambermaid. She passed away in Monaco, April 1st of 2013, as the 149th wealthiest person in the world. Now don't feel bad for John's 6 kids. They got 12% of Dad's money. The state of New Jersey awarded